Hi. Apologies for the format of this video. I know it's unusual for me. I'm not used to like the vlog, selfie style uh, uh, address right to the camera, but I'll do my best. As November's coming to a close, I kind of wanted to look back at our SNAP initiative and round up how it went, and particularly what I feel like we are getting wrong about the program itself and the people who are on it. On October 30th, Honeycomb began feeding people for free in anticipation of the federal funding for SNAP being shut off. And that meant that anyone on SNAP could walk into our shop and receive a hot, fresh, homemade meal at no cost for the whole family, as much as they needed, no questions asked. For some, that meant a loaf of bread or bagels to fill a dwindling pantry. And for others, that might have meant a chance to sit down and relax with their kids, and just have something nourishing amid a very uncertain time for them. We received so much generosity, lots of words of encouragement, and we also received lots of feedback that our efforts were well meaning but maybe misguided or naively generous. And I feel like this criticism emerges from perhaps the established narratives about poverty that we've internalized, about how SNAP works, and about the people who are benefiting from it. And so this is my opportunity to maybe discuss that and share what I've learned over the past month. The idea that SNAP is wasteful or exploited doesn't hold up under scrutiny. And while the program is not perfect, the administrative costs are among the lowest in the federal government. And fraud rates are far below most of those private sector insurance programs that would serve a similar need. The vast majority of people that we served at Honeycomb are families with young children, elderly on fixed incomes. They are disabled people who cannot work for whatever reason, or people who are working full time, but those jobs are just not paying enough to cover basic needs. The notion that SNAP is a hammock rather than a lifeline becomes a convenient myth that is allowing us to turn away from the fact that in the wealthiest nation on earth, we have millions of people who are struggling to put food on the table despite working full time. I think that the most common critique that I am receiving is that SNAP recipients should just get a better job, or work harder, or pull themselves up by their bootstraps, or budget better. And I think that this is misunderstanding both the nature of poverty and the purpose of public assistance. Poverty is not evidence of laziness or incompetence. It's a condition that's being produced by systems, economic, political, social systems, that are leaving entire groups of people vulnerable to the conditions of a system that they did not have a hand in creating. Consider that on November 1st, as SNAP dollars were shut off, these families did not suddenly become less motivated to work or worse at budgeting. They were losing access to a program that was specifically designed for them to weather difficult times. And yet, when a difficult time came, it was us who decided to shut off their access to that program. What became clear over the past month as we've worked with these families is that these guests don't fit neatly into these narratives that we've been taught about poverty. I've had a lot of conversations with curious peers, other business owners, and customers who are skeptical of government being in the business of using tax dollars to provide food assistance. And honestly, this resonates with me. I think it's a valid question whether it's better to offer charity directly from churches, non-government organizations, private businesses like Honeycomb. And yet, at the same time, food insecurity and public health is not my area of expertise. I'm a cook, I'm a baker, and I'm not a professional anti-hunger advocate. I'd much rather assistance programs be administered by experienced, efficient, highly effective organizations, and even better if it's one with full accountability to the taxpayer, like SNAP. As of this time, like when I'm talking to you now, Honeycomb has given almost $10,000 of free meals away, and yet the need in the community is so much greater than what Honeycomb can possibly address ourselves. Even the most generous private organizations and charities can only reach so far. Often, private charity has counterproductive strings attached, and what I can offer as an individual is a drop in the bucket compared to the potential impact of programs like SNAP. Over the past few months, we have met so many friends and neighbors, these families who are coming in. We've got Kim, who is a foster mother, visited me at the farmer's market for years now, and always comes with a group of kids who are holding loaves of bread, all of them cookies, and they're just so sweet. Or Valerie, who came into Honeycomb for the first time for this program. She has 5 kids with disabilities, and she just gets eggs and bacon, very simple, and coffee. We've got John, a Navy vet who served this country and yet only orders 1 muffin at a time despite his fridge being empty. These people aren't fitting the stereotypes that you see on the news. They're complicated, humble, but they're funny, they're ambitious, they're very, very grateful. And they're our neighbors. Their courage and strength over the past month has filled me with joy and hope. And I want them to know what a rewarding experience it is to have built these relationships with them. Despite the aspirational tone that I'm taking, I promise you that I'm a pragmatist. I became an entrepreneur so that I could take practical actions to address the challenges in my life and the lives of my team. What I love most about being an entrepreneur is the personal agency to make my own path, make my own decisions. And yet, I've also come to realize that every budget, every dollar we spend, federal, local, personal, is a document that reflects our values. It reveals what we're willing to invest in, what we're willing to sacrifice for, and who we are willing to leave behind. My team fed people during the shutdown because it is what our values demanded of us. But the meals, I don't feel, were free. They were an investment in the type of America that we want to live in. And the children of today will need to be well nourished if they're to shoulder the struggles of tomorrow. If we want America's greatest aspirations to be real, then we have to start doing away with the narratives that divide us and that punch down and blame the citizens who are already carrying the heaviest burdens. I'm still wrestling personally with how to invest in that future. But what I do know is it begins with recognizing that hunger is not inevitable. It's a policy choice, and it does have solutions. It's up to us to demand them and implement them. For my closing thoughts, I just wanted to share so much gratitude to the individuals. Many of you are loyal Honeycomb customers. Some of you have never even been to Honeycomb and you just heard this story and wanted to contribute. Thank you so much for the donations and the words of encouragement that have empowered us to make this happen over the past month. Thank you so much. And to all of the families and people who have come to take advantage of this effort, thank you for coming. it's been so rewarding to hear your stories and understand you better. And I hope that everyone who has contributed and who cares about hunger and who cares about their fellow neighbors and citizens um, also understands you better. And I hope that the relationships we've formed continue for a long time to come. Thanks again, and be well.